So my first 12 months out, working full time. So I'm not gonna lie, like I probably was working 12 plus hours a day in real estate. I made more within $10 of what I made at the restaurant. It was like $54,600. And then the first calendar year out, 2014 was more like 107,000. 2015 was more like 250. 2016 was more like 350. Last year, our small team did about 750,000 in gross commission income, maybe 72 transactions, give or take, personal transactions. So kind of fun, very exciting, it's been a huge blessing. So, and I am still really passionate about teaching. We don't get paid to teach. I just am here because it fills my bucket. So thank you for being here, because that makes a difference for us. We are going to ask you, I want to know, can I move that? It's fine. It's fine. We're good. I am going to ask you for ahas. And since I don't get paid for this job, super important that you jot down some ahas so that I know that my time here was valuable and that you learned something from the class. Let's see if we can, maybe I'm supposed to not share. That's the wrong button. Slideshow. We shall try. Okay. I feel like I'm in the wrong, because you guys have any of you guys taken 3? Did you guys start? When did you start? Were you guys in Shoney's class? He does a fantastic one. I actually was looking at his slides, and I may just take mine and do it, but it might mess them up online. Let's see, we shall decide. We'll go quickly. I feel bad because that means you guys are going to get a little bit of a duplicate. We're in session 19. Should we just stay the course? Maybe. These are his slides and not my slides. So no, we're going to make this more effective. Okay. Maybe. Don't worry. Nobody else has my slides that's online either, guys. Don't you worry. We are going to do this. Oh, that's not awkward. It's fine, right? I feel you.
Hi, guys.
So I'm actually going to bounce back and forth. So whoever's online, don't worry. These guys don't have slides either, but we're going to do some talking and we're going to do some storytelling and some practicing. Does that sound good to everybody? What I wanted to hit with section 3 is connect with your market. Section 19 that we were going to go over is working with buyers and sellers. Working with buyers and sellers on last Friday, we got cut short on our class because of the market update. Really, that one is focused on just communication. Like, if I could give you the 30-second version of that whole session is, don't be a jerk. Don't be a jerk to other agents. Don't be a jerk to title. Don't be a jerk to the lenders. Don't be a jerk to potential clients. You know, I got a sign call last night and she's represented by somebody. They're making offers on something, and I can either be like, hang up and not spend time with her, or spend a little bit of time with her, find out what she needs, see if there's some kind of service I can offer, give her 3 minutes of my attention, send her my contact information. So if anything ever goes south with that agent, she might reach out to the nice lady. So I actually had that happen I got another sign call from a house I had down in Mapleton, and they were out of town. They were just asking some questions. We were nice to them. Well, they called me back 3 weeks later and they said, I'm so sorry, I don't know your name. I saved you in my phone as a nice real estate agent. We're out in front of an $800,000 house. Can you come show us? We ended up selling them a house similar to that. Ended up, they bought that later. We sold it later. They bought another house. And so you're talking maybe 1.5 million probably in volume through the transactions that we did with them. Off of just being nice. You don't have to be a jerk in this business, and in working, even in negotiating. Your best negotiation will not be like you fighting. It will be you stepping on the same side and understand what they need and help them get it. And in return, you and your client will get what they want. So that's the CNN version of that one. We talked, maybe you guys have in your notes. Do you remember the things that people want from their real estate agent? Maybe no. I should give it some title. So the main thing, the number one thing that people want from their real estate agent is somebody they can trust, somebody who knows the market, and someone who can negotiate on their behalf. None of those things cost money, and none of them have anything to do with how long you've been in the business. So they want to be able to trust you. That's why you and I might both go into a consultation and you get it over me because they already trust you. That's going to be way more important than it will be how many houses I've sold. If they don't trust me, it won't matter. That's why we ask you guys to go spend time with your spirit, because they already trust you. They already know how you do business, whether you were doing business in another way or not, like somewhere else, selling Mary Kay, selling pies, whatever you were doing. But they want to be able to trust you. They want somebody who knows the market and someone who can negotiate on their behalf. So I really wanted to focus on knows the market today. And I felt like that was important. And that actually has a lot to do with session 3. So since it's not scheduled, I thought let's actually dive into that a little bit. Everything you guys are doing this first year is not a waste, because it's going to be learning and nobody can take that away from you. So we had talked about that a little bit, like is showing an unqualified buyer a waste of time? Not necessarily, because it depends on how busy your life is, but not necessarily, because you get a chance to do research on the MLS. You get a chance to learn how to schedule it. You get a chance to learn how to open the super box. You get a chance to learn how to print off the MLS sheet, which seems easy, but if you've never printed it off, that crap can be stressful, right? You get a chance to, like, again, open that super box. So while you're shaking, isn't it even better that they're not an $800,000 lead that's qualified? You're like, hey, I'm showing a trailer today. No big deal. And no, they're not qualified. I'm still going to go show them the trailer. It also was going to save me time because I didn't have to go through the process of making them get qualified. And if it's a crap hole, we don't have to do anything else. So it's going to save me a ton of time. Or maybe we'll help them down their path. This is the 3rd transaction that I've done with them. So that is also the other reason. I'm like, well, you did call me and they were so kind to say, it says you're only going to make 2.5% of this. Is it worth your time to help us? I'm glad I'm your person. It'll be fine. And so think about that. Sometimes you just don't even realize how much learning is happening as you're going through that transaction and doing those things. So be open. Spend time doing that. Like, you guys have a lot of time during the day if you don't have any active transactions anyways. So like, take advantage of that. Do as much as you possibly can. So as far as people want to work with who they trust, also, let's just take 2 minutes to talk about that. Live in such a way that people want to do business with you. They are watching. So if you are out taking shots on social media and like getting all hoochie, that's probably not going to serve you in building your business. There might be people who, but the reality is, do whatever you want, but be careful, because live in such a way, those are the people you're trying to sell houses to, right? So think about that. And it doesn't mean you have to be somebody you're not, but you can decide what's more important. Like, do I need to make some money this year, or should I just be out partying? Doesn't mean you can't go have some fun, but just think through, how am I doing that? Because I need them to think of me as their real estate agent. I need them to think of me as somebody smart, somebody who knows stuff. That's why we're going to jump into the market. And I wish you guys all have the MLS. Everybody who's online, what we're doing is we're actually going to be working on the market and becoming a market expert. And the best, fastest way to do that is going to be listing alerts. We're going to start with listing alerts. Does anyone have listing alerts open right now on their? We'll do it together. You get to be a part of this. Okay, so we're going to go into the MLS. And I need to write something down so we don't forget. We need to make sure we cover other apps. We need to cover the KW app, MLS app, and Utah County parcel. And for me personally, Google. So if you're on my team, I have a list of apps that you got to get down and you got to get comfortable with. We're going to start there. Oh, wait, one more. This is KW, like search for homes. And then we need KW. And you can just go ahead and delete Facebook off your phone.
Sweet.
I know. I'm not totally against it. Just be purposeful while you're on there. It's hard to though. Like you don't even realize you're doing it and you're like scrolling through crap and you're like, oh my gosh, it's 45 minutes later. I had no idea. So you guys will kind of talk about that by the time that it's so long in here, by the time we end.
If you're working on this, you can
Do you know how?
I think.
Yes.
We did learn how.
Ooh, that would be awesome. But it's just
Okay,
not.
Not on a Samsung. I know how to do it on an app.
I'm not that. Let's see. I'm gonna click on something that I think might be.
It's here. Look. Screen mirroring. We're in the Gary Keller or
Oh, so you could mirror yours.
Yeah, you can use mine.
And then will we just be able to see it or will they pick it up too probably?
It should be doing it right now.
Well, we shall do it together. So the reason that so what we're gonna do is go up into searches. The reason that you guys wanna have listing alerts on is because you will sell what you know about. This is free. It takes time and a little bit of energy, but you can look at so many houses. So you guys have hopefully you guys have probably a little bit of a system that you're supposed to be contacting a certain number of people every day, hopefully 10. If you guys want to be successful in this business, you can show up to all the classes, but if you don't do what I'm about to tell you, you're not going to make any money. You need to contact 10 people a day, put 10 people into your database every day. I'm almost there. Write 10 handwritten notes every day and get your feet into 10 homes every week. They've added the social media connection to it, so we'll cover that piece. But it's called a 10-4. If you do that for 1 month, by the time you get done, you will have talked to 200 people this month. You'll have added 200 people to your database. You'll have handwritten 200 notes and you'll have seen 40 homes. And then you can tick out 90 days. If you've really done that, in 90 days, you will start to write contracts. Maybe sooner. I'm just the realist of like, man, it's a 90-day cycle. But the reason that's important is in the Red Book, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, it talks about that for every 12 people who are in your database that you systematically communicate to, you should be able to receive 2 closed transactions for every 12. One will be a direct person and one will be a referral. So that means out of 200 that you should be able to get, I think it is 24 transactions, and you'll probably make roughly 150,000 that year.
It wanted to, but it won't. Like screen.
No stress. We're just going to make you guys do it. So we're going to go out to the searches on the left-hand side. Now,
That must be 10 new people every day. Don't you already have all your contacts?
I'm kind of funny because I know they like to dump them into your database for you. I personally think you call them, you put them in, and you write them a note. And then you're touching the database. And if not, you haven't learned, you haven't built the muscle memory to touch your database. And so it's like, how do I call? Who do I call? So if you have the potential to do that and the discipline, I personally think it's better. You also have cleaner data because maybe if you're not willing to call the person they stuck in your database, they don't belong there. So either get some cojones and call them or get rid of them. Those are like your two. That's why if you physically have to put them in, you made the decision that you want to do business with them. Like, I am going to have the guts to call them. I can do this. I don't think I'm going to do it. Get your affirmations going. It'll be good. So do those things. Now, the thing is that when you put those 200 people in, and we talk about the results of 2 transactions for every 12 in there, you have to systematically communicate with them, and you haven't for a year. That's why your first year, you're not going to get the same result from your database. So I think I told you guys, I think I'm about 80% my first year was open houses because they didn't know me. They showed up and I was the expert. I already knew all the houses that were on the market around that house I could take them to or talk to them about. They didn't know it was my first week. My poor mom still knew it was my first week and was like, how's that whole house thing going? You going back to Village Inn? Freak. Every person you talk to is like, you sold a house yet? No, I haven't. I'm working my freaking guts out, but no, not yet, but I'm going to. Like, so those are normal things that happen. You're just like everybody else when they ask you that. Yes.
Okay, so I have not been calling people, but I have been posting on Facebook every single day, at least one thing. And then people reach out to me. I'll have like, at least a dozen people reach out to me and
If you are having a two-way conversation, I think you're doing well. There's nothing that replaces a voice conversation. However, I totally get it.
Well, if I'm getting people saying, oh, I'm an investor, can you buy this?
Absolutely. That two-way conversation is valuable.
So I looked back at my history and I'm not even looking at my texts and my phone calls because some of them get turned into phone calls and things. But I'm doing on average 10, 12 a day.
And just track it. That's the thing is that when I actually track it, I will feel like I'm doing 10. I started this at the beginning of April. 4 makes me feel like I'm doing 10 because we're really optimistic. Like people who get into real estate are so optimistic. We just sure that that's what's happening. So just track it and for yourself because it'll all be about the results for you. At the end of the day, like that's what's crazy. We're all 1099. We love you, but if you don't show up, it's like your mortgage that doesn't get paid. It's not anybody else's that's going to be affected by that. We love you, but you got to do it for you. And people will find what see your voice that you just heard. That was your voice. Like this is, so I would recommend, like, I might not be the right person. You might go, who else is doing it this way? How can I align with them and figure out what they're doing and converting and getting results?
I'm just wondering if my system works because I see people in person a lot, but I'm also connecting on here and converting it into.
If your appointments, conversations so it's that you want to talk to people and it's great to talk to people and ask them how they're doing. And if it doesn't lead your conversation, doesn't lead to an appointment, that doesn't lead to a contract, it's not that it's not great, it just isn't a money-making activity. So if whatever two-way conversation, instant message, or whatever you're doing is moving you closer to an appointment, and in that appointment, you're moving closer to a contract, then you're doing great. So that's your solid, how am I doing?
So I've got about a dozen leads that are ready to go up, but I'm not ready to look up from the last case.
And everybody's a little different about like what contract looks like, whether this is your exclusive right to sell or your buyer broker agreement, right? And then these are going to lead to under contracts. But watching and following this and not feeling sad that this conversation isn't an under contract today, because this process, remember how long this is? Typically 90 days, unless you can get somebody to raise their hand that's ready to go today, right? So I have a great $1.8 million listing that really should go on the market. They're not super motivated. So I stir them and I'm having conversations here. But you know what? My damn trailer will probably go under contract today in one day. So who do I talk to? Yeah, the other one sounds really good, but these guys are like, I need somewhere to move today. So it's like, hey, how do I find the motivated? How do I find the ones like, right now I'm ready to go? Doesn't mean these aren't good. I got to still keep poking at them, sending them stuff, helping them through that. But you keep talking to enough people, you will find someone who is a today. I'm ready in the next 30 days. Now, one of our commandments on our team is that every marshmallow in the fire counts. And it is super important that whether it's a trailer or whether it's a lead that is 90 days, a year, 2 years out, they all matter. You throw those suckers in the fire, one day we're going to eat s'mores. So you just keep throwing them in and you keep turning them. You just got to keep turning them. And it's just a little bit of turning, and you'll get the result over there. I've been turning this listing for a year, but we have done deals together. And I just need to be in front of her. She's at open houses every weekend. She's in contact with other people. I just have to be the one that she trusts in the meantime. She trusts me because my market knowledge, we talk data, that's what she wants. And I will be honest with her all of the time. Okay, so we're going to setting up listing alerts. You guys are there. We're going to go to search. We're going to do it. Just this is, I'm a big key believer in listing alerts because you guys can get so much knowledge so quickly and you will sell what you know about. So we go to full. You can do it any way you want. I'm kind of old school. I always click into full. That's going to bring up our search. This is going to be for just residential. You can go across and do things like multifamily and land and commercial, and it kind of brings it up, but I feel like it's hard to read. So for you guys, what do you want to sell? Do you want to sell trailers? It's okay if you do. I have no judgment.
Anything, right?
Let's just start something for you. You probably know people in your neighborhood or your apartment complex or your condo complex. So let's set up a listing alert that's around your house. Okay. So right now it's only pulling up active right there. It's up to you what data you want. You can have it pull up just active. You can have it pull up active, under contract, and sold. So you get notification when something goes under contract. I kind of like to do that. It's a little intense because you get a lot of data, but I can follow a house and go, it went on the market. A week later, it went under contract. A month later, it's sold. So it helps me know, oh, that's how long it's been. And then if you take a listing in that area, you kind of already know what is happening. You're very schooled on it. So if you want to change it, you just click on that button there. So we are on the MLS. We've gone to search on the left-hand side. I feel like I should
What's
be
active no-show?
active no-show is like I have a listing agreement with them, but they're getting carpet done. Something like that. Yeah, yep. And, but under contract, backup, and sold. The first time you pull this is going to be a lot of data, but the next time it comes, it's not going to be that much. So let's say we want to do that. And then let's look at a property type. Should we do your house?
Sure.
Sure. Is it single family, townhouse, or condo?
It's a single family.
Okay. And then we're going to do everything in your neighborhood. Okay. So I'm going to go over, and on the left-hand side, you guys are going to see a map view.
Okay, should we be doing our own houses? Okay.
Or whatever you want, but I say do your own house. Then you guys are going to leave at least with some data. This pulls up the map. Are you guys all on the map now on the left-hand side?
Yep.
This is why we're doing it, because man, this is gold. And once you learn how, again, these are the kind of things I would do when my kids were in bed. I could call people during the day. I could show during the day. I could go to classes. And then at night, I would study the MLS, be on tutorials on the MLS. I would be on the county records. I would be just trying to learn. You got to learn to make money. So what we're going to do is there's a couple of different things across the top on the left-hand side. You guys see some tools. I think one of the easiest, fast, like quick and dirty tools is the radius tool. It's circle. And if you see that, you're going to click on that radius tool. On the right-hand side, you guys are going to find it says set radius or location. If you click on that blue set radius or location, it tells you, it automatically populates 1/4 of a mile. I like to put in a mile personally, and then I'm going to let you type your address in there. Let's make sure you guys are on track. You're doing great. This little blue button right here, that's why we got to get our hands and do it, or else it just doesn't happen. So type your address in there, and then left of that, you see where it says 1/4? You're going to turn that into 1 mile. Okay, so we're going to click on, but no worries. I want you to clear criteria for a sec. Well, no, I lied. We'll start again. Screw that one up for you. All right, now I want you to hit set criteria.
Cool.
Boom. And then I want you to go up to view results up on the left-hand side there. All right, this little radius tool here, that round one. And then on the right-hand side, it says set location. This is where you can change to 1 mile and then your address. So this tool, there's some cool tools on there if you guys play around on there. There's actually a little car. The car says if I set my work location and I want to be 15 minutes from work, it will pull up all the houses 15 minutes from work. So if you've got somebody who says, I want to be within 7 minutes of this grade school. And it's interesting because it won't be a circle, a radius. It will be like, right? And it's really a fun thing to be able to set your searches up that way. So this brought up a ton. For us, it was 77 because we didn't put any time restriction in there. So now if you want to come up here to refine search, we can, so yours didn't bring too many, so that's good. You could, if you wanted to shorten it up, you could scroll down and reduce the number of days back. Maybe go back 90 days or 180 days. So here, scroll down just a little bit, and we are going to go number of days back. I'd go more in the like, because no, let me show you. So down, number of days back here.
Oh, okay.
So just type in like 180 or 90, whatever. It really, the first time it looks like a lot, but the next time when it actually emails you, it's only going to email you when data changes. So it's not like going to email you everything that's active. It's just going to be like, what's active in the last 90 days that's new? What has changed? What's gone under contract? All right, so this is our results here. And now up on the left side, yep. And I want you guys to know that there are tools on the MLS that you can use under tools. If you go in, don't do it right now, but if you go to tools, there's actually little mini videos that teach you guys how to do this. Nobody ever tells you that. There is a class. Go under tools. We'll do it before the class is over. If you go to tools, there's little tutorials that you can watch these like, and I specialize in training because I need train. They told me my first day. So I got hired as a manager at Village, and I should have never got hired as a manager. Telling you, God took care of me. And the lady, she's like, hey, go back in the back and give me 3 waters. And I go back there and I'm like, water. Like water, it can't be that hard, but like I can't get water unless you show me this is the cup, this is the ice scoop, this is the ice, you put 2 scoops in, this is where the water thing is, push the water thing till it fills up, take it off, here's the tray, put it on the tray and carry it. Like I need all of that. I have no, I can't, I can try. I am such a spreadsheet girl. So we talk about what adding to the database. Like I literally lived off of spreadsheets. I just Google Sheets. This is their name. This is their phone number. This is their address. Like that was my database. And it was fine. Made a lot of money doing it that way. Okay, this is only the search we're to, you guys. That's all we've got right now is just the search. This is not as valuable unless we can automate it to give you information every morning in your inbox. So from this point, if you like what you see, let's play with yours a little bit. Jen, I want to take a look and see what yours looks like and make sure you're feeling good about it.
Know what I'm doing. So I found, I don't know how
You
to
were
get
in a-
back to that screen. I was just on.
So come back to view results
View
here.
results.
Mhm. And then if we want to play with this, because this is so many, come to refine. And you can decide, you want to look at everything or single family homes or condos or single family or a
Single
condo.
family.
Awesome. And then pull off of there and just click it out or a little X. And then if we scroll down here on this side here, you're going to see number of days back. Let's just go back 90 days because you're in a high populated area. She's in Elkridge. She ain't got crap down there. And then that puts us down to 157. That still has a lot. This is going to be everything within. Let's click off of that 90 and see if it updates a little bit. Like just click anywhere else. Yeah, it puts us to 61. I like that. Let's just click view results right now. This is everything. But instead of, this is good, but we want it to come to you because it's going to force you to look at it every day. I mean, yeah, good. See, you just got to play with it and get comfortable, get into a relationship with it. Once you hit view results again, I want you back to the main screen. Perfect. Now up at the top, it says next to that says create listing alert. Good. You're already ahead of the game. Good. Type in what you want it to be. It might be your last name. It might be an address. And I'm going to make you do it too. We're going to come up here to create listing alert. Now this is, so let's, don't tell me I will remember. I won't remember. I'm so sorry, Jared. Put Jared's market research. So that's what I might put on, because sometimes I might forward this to somebody, or because it's just right now coming to us. You can create these for other people and automate them as well. I don't like to do that because I want them to get the data from me. I'm kind of a pain in the rear. I don't send them everything, but I'll send them, just depends on what's happening. But I have it come to me, and this is actually my touches that I send out. So I go through my database and I put a listing alert on for everybody, whether it's for their house or something they might be interested in. Then it only alerts me, and when it does, I can either text it to them or I can forward it to them in an email and then text them and tell them I just sent them something. If it automates, if they don't open it, it's going to end up in their spam. After 4 or 5 emails, there's no point. You just wasted all of your energy and it's gone. That's my opinion. I know Hunter is going to disagree with me. He's all into automation. But if it comes to me, I learn about it. They're not like, hey, I saw the house that's yellow that you sent me. And you're like, I didn't look at that. I have no idea what you're talking about. But if it comes to me, I can decide if it's a value to send to them. It also might be like, well, somebody listed their house for 500,000 too much, and now she thinks she's going to sell it for that. Crap, I don't want to send it to her. Or if I send it, I'll be like, haha, look at this. They're so crazy on what they think it's worth. So it gives me the chance to tell the story I want to them that I'm sending. So down below, we have just the name. If you keep scrolling down, that's where you could add people. If you wanted to add clients to it, I personally don't add anyone. I just have it come to me. Do you see where it's at on, like, if you don't like them in there, you can, oh, they aren't gonna, they won't, these are, if you click on them, they will get that. But if you just don't click on them, no one gets it.
Okay, so don't click on that.
You don't have to even do anything. You can just,
I can leave it on that.
just your client, however that be, and then scroll down.
No, I just did my
Yep.
my email.
And then you can decide, do you want to get it every time it comes out? Do you want to get it once a day or weekly? I used to put it as soon as it comes out, but it's very distracting. And then I'm looking at houses when I should be calling people, or I'm looking at houses when whatever it is. It's just too much for me. So me personally, unless I have a super active buyer, mine come to me at 4 a.m. and 4 p.m. So twice a day.
So that's where you don't have it go to select. You can just
Yep.
have it just come to you.
Just come to you.
Okay.
And if you decide you only want them at once a day at 9 a.m. Now, the positive about doing it early is it's there. I don't have to open it. I don't look at them at 4 a.m. I can just look at them when I get up. My poor husband, I'm a super romantic person because it's in the morning. I am looking at my emails and sending people text messages. So these are the 3 choices. You can have it send it to you as automatically, once a day or weekly. And if you decide to do it daily, you can put different times of the day in there so you can have it more than once. So let's click on daily for you to practice that. That's my recommendation, is to do a couple times a day. So if you do daily, you can then choose the hours that you want it to come, and you can pick what time. So I like to do it first thing in the morning and before I close my books for the night. If something new came out on the market, I want to know about it. If I do, like I said, have an active buyer, I might put as soon as it comes out, but then I'm getting emails all day, and it does take me away from what I've deemed most important. So I cannot speak to that.
I don't know. I'll just mess with it.
Well,
I'll watch a video.
it's because, yeah, it may be because, did you put Elkridge and the map?
Maybe.
So what it's saying is it can't do both. You can decide, I want everything in Elkridge, or I want everything 1 mile around this. You can decide, I want everything on this side of State Street, if you use some of those other tools to draw, you know. I like the 1 mile. I use the 1 mile when I talked about open houses, right? I would pull 3 numbers very, very quickly. So I get my open house that I have, I go to the computer, I pull up everything 1 mile around my listing I'm about to hold open. And then I look at everything that's active within a mile so I can see what's out there. I can see, am I priced right? Or did somebody give me a crappy listing to do an open house on? But I get an idea. And even if I got a house that sucks, then I'm like, oh, but this one's a good deal over here. And I know about it. So as I'm talking to people at the open house, I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys drive by that one on your way in? Or the neighbors that come over and look and they're like, can't believe how many houses are on the market in your guys' neighborhood. This is crazy. Instead of me pulling up, not having a clue what's happening around me, I know. I've clicked through the pictures. I know that the freaking bathroom is purple at the one down the street. Like, I want to know those things. So I pull up everything active within a mile, and then I just shift it. I pull up everything under contract within a mile. I don't really look at those, to be honest. And then I pull up everything that is sold in the last 30 days. The active and the sold, the reason I do that is if I change that search criteria to active, maybe I have 32 homes active around me right now, right? And I got that data fast. I didn't look through any of the pictures. I just looked. I have 32 homes active and I have 16 under contract, and I have 8 that sold in the last 30 days. In less than 2 minutes, I became the market expert in the neighborhood. So if I go knock on the neighbor's door and invite them to the open house, hi, I'm Angie. I'm helping the Smiths down the street sell their house. We're doing an open house on Saturday. We'd love to have you. There's one of 2 people, nice, or they close the door. It's fine. They close the door. They're busy. They're cooking dinner. Leave them alone. They pause and they go, they just pause long enough for you to say, I love this neighborhood. How long have you guys lived here? Oh, we just moved in. Oh, we've been here 30 years. That's awesome. What do you love about this neighborhood? And I get them to talk to me. And in that, I start to put this data. I know this neighborhood is crazy. I don't know if you realize there's 32 houses on the market in your neighborhood right now. People must love to live here because 16 of them are under contract right now. And I can't believe it. We don't see this anywhere, but there are 8 that sold in the last 30 days. That means every 4 days you guys are selling houses here. You must love it. Have you guys ever thought about leaving? Do you guys even have an idea how much your house is worth? Like, all of a sudden I've created a conversation where I am the expert. People want to hang out with people who know stuff. And it took us next to nothing to come up with that data. So that's why, like, if you're going to do an open house, do the open house. Take 5 minutes to learn a little bit. Maybe you can't hear your voice in those, but think about, what could I do with that? How could I do that with my next open house? Maybe you won't go knock on the neighbor's doors. I suggest you do. So there's 2 times we knock. We knock pre-open house, and then we knock post-open house. Post-open house after it goes under contract. Hey, I just wanted to stop by. We went under contract on that house that I talked to you about last week. I can't believe how many people want to live in this neighborhood. Have you heard of anybody else who's wanting to move in here? I've got a couple more families that are interested.
What's the radius from?
I'm a wimp. I max at like 10 houses. I'll just be like transparent. I've got a gal I'm friends with out in Minnesota, and I met her through Her Best Life, and Keller Williams is a group of women, and she knocks 120 doors a month, every month, 4 communities. She's so disciplined. She asked if she could come out here and see what I do. I was like, I don't think you're gonna think it's anything that exciting. We do classes. That's the bulk of my business and what I base our business off of. I teach once a month a different class, whether it's first-time home buyers, investors, sellers, market updates, mortgage, debt reduction, decluttering. Like, we just teach, and we invite our clients to that. So we're doing May 10th, I'm doing first-time home buyer class in this market, and then June 7th, we're doing a sneak peek on designs before the parade at home starts. So I've got a designer. June 8th.
Do you let new
No, I partnered it, and even seasoned agents, the thing is somebody was funny. I remember I knocked on this agent's door and I sat in his office. I was new and I was like, I found the answer, the secret to this business, and I'm not going to tell anybody. It's open houses. I cannot believe it. This is such a money pit. I love it. I can make all this money. This is so cool. And he's like, you know what, Angie? You could tell everybody because nobody's going to do it anyways. 1 out of 10 will actually do what you're telling them and you'll be fine. He's so funny. That's like, that's why our doors are made of glass at KW is we tell people that's what we do. So get used to it. I was like, oh, that's a good point. You don't have to worry about it because I can tell everybody. And we have some things that we've learned over the years because I'm probably on 5 years of doing classes. And so some people will hold classes and no one shows up. I said, well, what's the difference, Angie? Well, I've kind of had to learn how to get people to show up. And it has taken some time to where our branding is that way. I might invite, so my text might say, and Jenna, I'm with you. I text a crap ton. I do, and it's fine. If I called, I'd probably have better results. But if I'm not going to do either, and that's not what they want to hear me say, if it is text or not do anything, I better freaking text. If I can call.
I'm touching so many different people.
If you can get an interaction with them, it's so much better. Sometimes I'll have a text that's like, hey, we're having a first time home buyer class. Who do you know that would be helpful for? Hey, we're doing a movie this week. Do you want to come? Hey, we're doing this. No response, no response, no response. And then it'll be a text back that says, my mom needs to sell her house. Like, don't stop texting and calling them. They're just busy. They don't need your help right now. They're not raising their hand. Don't let it get to you. They opened your text message at a stoplight and meant to text you back. They don't feel bad. Just don't feel bad. Keep calling, keep texting, keep being like, what do we call that? Resilient, resourceful, all of those things. Okay. Have we set up the actual listing alert yet? I like this. All you're going to do now is hit save. I may delete that later. We'll see. I just want to make sure you guys hit save. So right now you only have one in there, which is totally fine. You can either open up your thing or go, maybe you'll see stuff, maybe you won't, or you'll only see stuff that matters. You won't have to deal with a crap ton of stuff. But I want you guys to hit save.
I didn't just because it's still showing that.
Okay.
So let's go back over.
I'm going to send it to
Yeah,
them.
if you wanted it to go directly to your client, you could add them in. You're going to click add client. When that happens, you have to tell them that usually that connection ends up in their spam. So I say, hey, I'm sending you a connection. Check your spam. I'm sorry, I end up in the junk.
Save.
We're going to do, let's scroll up just a little bit. It's saying we're missing something. That is right. Scroll. Oh, we didn't pick. Did you pick already? So we're going to either as soon as it comes out, daily or weekly. I personally like to do mine daily. And you can do it as many times during the day as you want. I like to do 4 a.m. and 4 p.m. So I get them when I wake up and then I get them before the day ends and I kind of get a group. Huh? No, but then they're in my email. That's
Okay.
like, I can do it anytime. Yes. And don't do both a city and a map. You have to choose one or the other. You can do that. So a lot of times I might want everything in Levan. Or like I have, so different hot sheets that I have. If we were going to look up and go, I'm going to go to my listing alerts. And this is going to be kind of fun to talk about. So I have everything from, so my first listing alert is 1 million to 2 million in Utah County, everything active, under contract, backup, and sold. We talked about this because that is actually where I got that lead. I moved into a neighborhood, and even though I sell trailers, I had to start learning about $1 million houses. Like crap. So I started to have that come to me so that if I was at lunch with the ladies in the neighborhood, or if I was, whatever was happening, I needed to be able to talk about what was on the market in that price range, or I'd never sell it. When I started to do that, from the time I set that listing alert up, it was 90 days before I got that $1 million contract, that $1 million listing. So we sold, same lady, I sold her house for 1.3. She bought a 1.5. We're going to sell for she wants to sell for 1.795. We're going to sell for 1.695. That's fine. And they'll buy again, but that's hers. I want to know everything that's coming out because she knows too before I know. She's already looking, so I better freaking know about it. But that one actually really helped because I did all of Utah County. And when we sat down with her, they listed at 149. And I told them that their house was 1-2, maybe 1-3. 1-2, we'd get multiple offers, 1-3, we would get sold. And at the end of the day, they're still in charge of deciding their price. We went out at 149, crickets. We dropped the price to 139, crickets. We dropped the price to 1.3, which is what I told them that they would probably sell at. We got a few people looking. We finally dropped to 1.2, got multiple offers, closed at exactly 1.3, and I sat across the dinner table with her husband, and he was like, "We should have freaking listened to you. You know the data," and I know because I look at it every day. That's me. Everybody's got their own thing. I'm having somebody teach the design class. I am not good at that.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So I have people who are saying, "Hey, let's go to lunch. I want you to tell me what's going on in the market." So I'm like, "Well, what exactly do you want to know about what's going on in the market? Which area?" I mean, what do I do with that? I mean, these are dates. Guys are wanting to take me on dates. They also want to hear about real estate. Also, when I go to parties and events and things, people want to know. So
you just have to decide the story you want to tell.
Okay.
And then you'll get good at telling the same story over and over.
But how often do I need to update?
Your stuff that comes on your hot sheets is good.
Okay.
And then that hot sheet automatically comes. And you might want to know, so if you are meeting somebody in Highland, that'll look different than Elk Ridge. So you might want to separate those out just a little bit. And if you start to watch the active under contract sold, there's some real, if you can watch that and pay attention to it, the first little bit, you won't have a clue what you're looking at. It's okay. It's fine. Don't compare your first week in real estate to your last week at your last job. Right? Freaking couldn't get water in a water cup. And when I left the restaurant, I could tell you what was cooking on the grill. I could hear the bathroom door open. I knew that the whipped cream was about to turn to butter because of the sound it was making on that machine. I knew those things. And shit, I didn't know anything. Nothing sounded right. Nothing felt right. The first time it sucked so bad. I will pray for you. It'll be fine. Okay. Other things I have on mine. I just thought you guys might find this interesting. I have 1 acre lots. I have 1 hour away from somebody's job, and they wanted anything that was 5 acres for less than $1 million. I have 1.2 million 1 hour away and 5 acres because I was kind of trying to show them what that looked like. These are cowboys. They're looking for land. They're my South County kind of people. And I kind of have a group that's like that, right? So I have guys that run cows. They're going to look different than my girl that buys parade homes. Like they're different. Or trailers. 2-bed, 1 bath. There's a couple addresses in here. These are past clients that I just have anything that comes on the market in their neighborhood within a mile of their investment properties. Under 300,000, not much comes on that one. Anything that's 7 bedrooms, active 1 mile away from these addresses, active under contract that has 2 laundries under 700,000. That would be things that are easy to make accessory apartments. Or, sorry, maybe not maybe mother-in-law apartments. Barone Market Research, that's just a past client. So anything in her neighborhood. Bluffdale update. I have a cabin one for Cody and Brittany. Drive time to Murray. Duplexes, Utah County. East Provo. Elk Ridge Market Research. Eagle Mountain. Farms under 1 million. Fisher Market Research. That's my neighborhood. That one should come out every freaking hour because I'm so behind. By the time I see the sign in the yard, I have 3 in my neighborhood right now.
How many emails do you get? Like for all your
Maybe 40 or 50, but I don't have to look at them all. It takes like no time to delete if I don't want to see them, right? But they're there and I can decide. I have everything in Utah County comes to me every day. I don't look at them all the time, but I look at the number. So like 26 today or 37 tomorrow. get its data that is like, oh my gosh, there's only 26 houses that came out tonight. People will go, well, how many normally would? Well, I like to see 100. I mean, so that just tells you we're in inventory problems. We're just not seeing enough come on the market. So just talking points, but you might not be able to say that today, but you will as you start to look. You'll know if I list if a condo over here came on the market at 300,000, is that a good deal or a bad deal? You'll know. There's one it just dropped its price to 274. So I have investors that have apartments over there so that I can share with them, like, that's where that's at, or is it a good deal or a bad deal? Kind of gives you perspective of what it looks like. So I like stuff that I'm working with to know about, but you'll only sell what you know, right? So I think I've sold 8 in there. I should probably do $1 million house. I like investors. Anything that's in the subdivision garden park, Glad is a past client, so that's theirs. Grammar's a past client. Hall Home Search, they're looking but not super motivated. Healy Market Research, they're looking but not motivated. Henry Market Research doesn't come up often. It's even a wide range that I have for them, but I might only see a listing pop up every 3 months for what they're to compare to their home. So I did a search out further. They're in Orem, but they might have some linden and vineyard. They're a bigger home. Nice finishes. And so every once in a while something will pop up. And when it does, I can just text to them and say, hey, this house made me think of you guys. It's similar to yours. Let's watch it and see what it sells for. Has nothing, they're not buying or selling today, but it gives me something to talk to them about. And I'm not really good socially. I'm pretty awkward. So if I don't have something like that, like I can talk to you about real estate, I can talk to you about pies, I can talk to you about those things, but not sports, not design. I don't want to talk to you about politics. Like we don't have toys. We don't play a whole lot. So everything that Keller Williams lists, that's one that I have. So we had 8 come out. So the reason that matters, and we were talking about that, was for open houses. Instead of waiting, if you want to be reactive and wait till somebody posts on Facebook that they need an open house and everyone races to get it, instead be proactive and look at everything that comes on the market that KW lists. And if there's anything in a neighborhood that you want to hold open, call the agent and ask to hold it open. You'll do it first. It won't be a stale listing. And what I learned is instead of doing that, I picked up a couple of open houses, but it was like in West Valley. So then it wasn't a waste. I learned how to get my signs out. I learned how to market for it. I learned how to do all that. But the buyer leads I got were in West Valley, and I didn't want to work in West Valley. So learning, like, be specific and go, man, I want anyone that, like, you could look right now and say, who has Eagle or Elk Ridge listings? It's easiest and best if they're in our brokerage to hold open. What's that? So when I say play with the MLS, look at this. What I want you to look into is that if you go to that search, that full search, look at each of those things and play with them. But if you scroll down to the bottom, there is an option there for brokerage. You got to go all the way to the bottom and left-hand side, I believe. Office, right here under office, and you type in KW Westfield. Or if you wanted, I don't have very many listings, but if you wanted to track my listings, you could go specifically to a specific agent. Sometimes I will search that though.
Insert.
Office.
Mhm.
Is that it?
Yep. So I have everything, and I just kind of like to see what people are doing in the office and kind of what's happening. So I just have everything that KW has come to me. There, Angie, I can't think of her last name. She lists a ton in the South, like, I don't know, in the middle of nowhere, but she must own that market down there. She's got stuff coming on weekly. You can also search things like term types. So I have everything that allows for any kind of seller financing in Utah comes to me. So there's one you can select assumptions. There's the seller finance. There's just things like that. You can also do, but play with that and look and go, I wonder what that means. I have found if I get too detailed, I'll miss listings, right? So if I search for apartments, that's why it's kind of funny that I search for 2 laundries. Yes, I get stuff that comes to me that doesn't have a kitchen, but if it already has 2 laundries, the likelihood of me getting it into a mother-in-law or my investors would look at it or consider it. That's why it's kind of a broad range. And if it works, I'll send it to them. If it doesn't, I just ignore it. I just let it come in. But your goal, yeah, FISCH. Oh, sorry, Angela.
Angela.
I should probably fix that somewhere somehow.
Same issue because I go by Jen and my name's Jennifer, so I don't think I can change it because it has to be legal.
Hey, think there's some way if we talk to them, I just haven't put any effort into it. Yeah.
There you are.
So here on your details too, this is how I get 2 laundries is you have your total that you're looking for and then you have your floors. So I just go over to total and put a minimum of 2 laundries there. But if you get too detailed, you might miss some stuff. So that's why like I try and have it be pretty broad. And if you feel like it's sending you too much on one alert, then scale it down. But literally, like you guys, it's the fastest way for you to get knowledge about the market. So we can't help it if you're not trustworthy. I can't help you with that. Market knowledge, we can do that. And then and what's kind of cool is if you do that active under contract sold, you can start to see it. My solds, when you click into it, your clients are not going to be able to see that. So if you send them a sold, it'll click on it and say they can't get to it. They need you. So I screenshot it or I download a PDF and send it to them. Yes, love your questions.
Okay, I'm trying to do a hot sheet for KW Westfield listings. Should I do active under contract and sold or just active?
If it were me right now for you, I'd probably just do active on that one.
Okay.
That's kind of what I have on that one. And then if I look someone up, I scroll down and then you click here, you can see if they're seasoned or not, because they'll show they're recently sold. And so I can tell if I'm working with a new agent or not, good and bad.
And be nice, right?
Yes, be nice to them. And you actually will probably have I shouldn't say that. They're just different. Instead of somebody being like, I sell 110 homes a year, everybody's got their own, whatever. How do you guys feel about listing alerts? Could you set up 5 today? So I know where you guys are at. Before coming in this room, did you have any set up?
Yes.
No.
Good job. Was this a good review?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, good. All right. We're a little off of our topics. And so I want to stop for ahas. It's 11 o'clock. So we'll have a little bit more time, but I want to hit a few more things. I want to stop after, because this was a big part for me. And this includes people on Zoom. No hanging out without telling us your ahas. We need one aha from every person so far.
I can watch video.
Did you see where to find them?
Done your tools.
Tools. I love it. They're good.
Maybe not.
I think so, but then you have to, so go to, oh, I lied. Go to help. And
There
then
we
go,
go.
oh, help. And then,
Trainings and classes.
Yeah. and I feel like that might not be exactly what we were looking for.
But there
Oh, there we go.
There is
Mm-mm.
classes.
There are classes there, but I think there's tutorials. Let's go back one screen. Okay, go back to help again. Board training classes, support. Click on support center and see what happens.
I don't really think KW Westfield listings right now, or am I missing something?
Oh, there should be more. You might have something in there. It might be just in your area, your zone. So click. Clear criteria for a second. And we're going to start from the top. And let's just go to active. Let's just do the active there. And I find that if I'm trying to gather everything, I don't put anything in there.
Yeah.
And then scroll down to the KW Westfield. Oh, this is the sold.
Oh.
So we want to go, you're totally good.
Okay.
We're going to go to this office one.
Oh.
Yes.
Under help support center, and then there's videos for
I love those. And they're really short and I can put 2 screens up and I can watch it, hit pause and then do it. I don't know if your computers can do it, but that was a game changer for me to have 2 screens up on my screen. Oh, Incline, it's the property management, and Excellence is our, like, that's the Mapleton office that is powered under us, but they kind of have a sub office. So I think, I don't know if their listings will show up separate because I swear I see their listings, but maybe not. That might have been why I didn't get, Becca has one in my neighborhood and I was like, oh, and this gal walked through the house before it went on the market. I was like, oh, I don't know. It's horrible. Okay. We're gonna start online. Who wants to go with their ahas? Matt or see who else I have? I don't have names. Oh, there we go. Kathy. You can, they're just gonna be rentals that they put on. Oh no, Matt totally muted himself so he didn't get called on. I need ahas from there. Anyone want to go from ahas here?
Yeah, you could just send yourself all these things to the open house. I'm like physically just looking through and I thought it was only clients that you send the words to. So I was like,
cool. I love that you're gonna learn from it. It's awesome. You're new, but you still get an aha out of the deal.
We used to look at all this stuff about people, but the big one was just like the tens or whatever. Like
10-4.
Yeah, the 10-4s, just cause like, I don't know, seeing numbers like that, I'm like, okay, cool. Like
I
it's
can
like
do that.
Yeah.
Here's the system. Like, okay, so restaurant analogy, any cleaning list, people always, they come into the restaurant and be like, I have the best way to keep this restaurant clean. It's this fancy chart, all these things, we're gonna mix everything up. And it actually doesn't really matter. The best cleaning system that you can have is just the one that you will use. It could be a paper towel that has all the things written on it. It's taped up there as long as you'll actually use it. Because sometimes you get this big fancy chart and everybody ignores it still. So that same piece of like, it's a really simple plan that if you just do those things, you know you can't fail. If you stop doing those things. All right, ahas on this side.
I like being able to physically walk through samples instead of you just talking and telling me doing it helps.
Awesome. So we're gonna come back to homework. How about you, Jenna?
I really love how you talked about knocking on doors and giving them the market data from their neighborhood. I think that's really cool because I love hearing it.
They do.
They do.
They do. It's so and that's where your confidence comes from, because once you know, it's a lot easier to talk about it. So that's why you were like, well, what do I talk about? Well, you get to decide. If you're going to go to dinner, whatever that is, you do a little bit of research about what you want to talk about and just let it be that way. They might ask you, well, that's really awesome. What do you know about this? And all you say is, you know what? I don't want to BS you. Let me do a little bit of research. I want to make sure that I'm on point and give you the right data. Very cool. Good, good. Now, anybody want to share on those ahas that are online? I can't make you because you guys are online, but come on, Kathy.
I put mine into the chat.
Oh, I don't even know how to get there. I love it. Thank you. Matt says the conversation led me to think about some options for one of my more difficult clients, not necessarily directly tied to listing alerts, but they led me to it. That's awesome. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for participating.
You were going to go back to open houses with our brokerage versus
Good, because Dean's here for that one. So our brokerage is easier because it's already branded that way. You do need to give credit to the listing agent and to the brokerage. But the challenge that you have as well with, because we recently had this, is that I've held open, I'm in a neighborhood that has a to-be-built home, and there is a built home in that neighborhood that's listed with a different brokerage. And I wanted to hold that house open because it's the same builder and I wanted them to see the quality. So we have one flyer with that house branded with that agent and that brokerage. And we have our branding. And when people come in, we have to make sure we identify that we are not the listing agent and we're not representing that home. So we're just totally clear on what that looks like. It can get sticky, so just be very careful and ask your broker. It's just way easier if not. Yeah, because all of a sudden they may ask questions and you don't represent that house. So you might have some other thoughts on that as
Yeah,
well, but
If you have additional knowledge, you know something about the house, I've walked through the house, I've spoken with the seller, say, you know what, just from my observations, you could represent them as a buyer if they didn't have an agent. But you said, from what I understand, this is what I know about the house. But Angie walks in, hi, I'm Dean, you are.
am I the agent? Angie?
You're
Oh,
a buyer.
I'm the buyer. Hi, I'm Angie.
Great, Angie, just want to let you know, don't represent the seller, I'm just here holding the home open for them. And I'm with KW Westfield, and the brokerage is here, so I can even just tell them verbally.
So
Anything you say will not be used against you, because, you know, if you don't have an agent, I could absolutely help you if this is the house that's singing to you. You know, something like that.
my agents on my team will say, just so you know, I'm not the listing agent here. I am holding this house open. I'll be able to answer as many questions as possible for you. I actually specialize in representing buyers. So if you're looking for a buyer's agent, I'd be happy to help.
Yep.
So
That sounded good.
practice. Actually, I listened to one of them do it and I was like, that was so good.
Everything you say is a script.
That's why even if you end up in West Valley, like practice the script there and then it gets easier and easier. Okay, the main things I want to hit before the time we are out. Are you here doing their follow-up today?
I just wanted to pop in.
Oh, fun. Okay, I want to talk about these 4 apps and I think that they're important. One, do you guys already have the regular KW app on your phone? It is. Good job. You get this one too. You can just pull it up. It is just the KW. I want to say it's a consumer app. Let me see what it looks like. It is a white KW. I had so much fun with this app. I can't even tell you how good it is, you guys.
Okay.
It is such a good app. I was in St. George this weekend and I could look at all of the houses that were there. This is what's fun about sharing this with your clients, because if they go to Florida, they can look at all the houses they want. This actually pulls everywhere. It is awesome. It's really fun because you can also have multiple users tied together on it. And so I can have my co-borrower or my husband on it, and I can create different lists and say, these are the houses we're going to see on Sunday. These are the houses my husband likes. These are the houses I like. And I can put notes in, favorite them, gather them. And it's so good. So our agent that we hired down there handed me these paper of all the things we were going to go see. And I couldn't read anything on her dang paper. And I was like, I just gotta get my little app out. I'm just gonna be on here. It was phenomenal. The other thing that happens is when they look at houses, you can see what they're looking at, favoriting. It connects right to your command. So it's really pretty cool.
So there's a video for this too.
Yes, but it's something that I think you need to put on your list of things. I just want to make sure that you guys have that. And it's also a really good, easy thing to share at an open house. Like, hey, how are you guys looking for houses? I have this really awesome app that actually works across the country. You guys can see everything. It's got a GPS on it. So we actually drove into Ivins and I was like, what's on the market here? I open up my app and I can see what's on the market. Really easy, shows what's pending. It's awesome. It's easy to use and it looks nice too. It works better.
What is your login for it? Is it your?
You will create it as a consumer and then you're gonna find it. We should, yes,
What I would recommend is,
Hunter.
listen, right after this, move on to the command, I think you can start sharing your app with yourself. so
You
that
want to
you're
be the
logging
agent
in.
on it so that when you share it with other people, because there's a standard one like general, and then there's like Chris's KW app. You're the agent on it.
Well,
I'll do it later.
Yeah.
It's asking you to log in. So there's 2 things. You are the agent on that, but you might have to log in as a consumer. So mine is Miss Fish is my name. My first name is Miss, my second name is Fish, and that is my consumer login that I have in my database that my alter ego, whatever you want to call it. So, And then the MLS app. Do you guys have the MLS app?
Utah real estate.
Yes. That one, if you don't have MLS access, you should still do it as a consumer. Looks like this, and if you Google it, be careful because Zillow pays for the top spot. You'll accidentally download Zillow. That one, if you have your MLS access, is powerful and awesome. It's still good as a client. So you can still search the Utah MLS that way. It is really good. It's actually what I use most of the time. I had such a great experience with my KW app that I'm probably going to be shifting people to it. It was such a good weekend, like working with it.
The MLM.
It's Utah real estate.
Yeah. And honestly, that data is the cleanest data you can get. So if you're not going to be using KW, get your people on that. Don't let them be searching on Zillow. Me and my husband fight about that one all the time. And then Utah County parcel. Were you in my class where we downloaded that one? I love it. This is another thing that's going to make you guys look smart. It's UC parcel map.
Right now.
Is
we
it
can-
this
we
one?
can learn.
Yes.
Says, the app isn't available for your device because it was made for an older version of Android.
Weird. I might have an old Android.
Is it this one here? Or is it-
Yeah. What I love about it is this has a little,
No idea.
this tells us where we're at right now. It's got a GPS.
I guess
That
they
little
have
blue
the-
dot, that's where we're standing. It's so cool. I can, now it is not 100% accurate, but I can walk to the edge of a property line and people ask me where the property line is and I walk with this and it is pretty close.
Is it the same as Utah County maps? Maybe it's not.
Probably not.
Okay, I have a different one. Utah County maps.
No,
which-
that's the one.
Okay.
And then I want you to click on this button here and have it bring us, is that, yep. And then
Right,
you can
so-
scroll in.
And it just tells us.
That's our building that we're in
Right.
right now. If you hold it down. Are you on a iPhone though?
Yeah,
I don't know exactly how to make it work.
there you go. Well,
And then you can see who owns it. And I think usually, so like I have information on it down below too. So it'll tell me who owns it, the
maybe
acreage
I
of
gotta
it,
search for it.
might be. But absolutely has a lot of good data. This is the app version, but getting comfortable with this information on your desktop is really valuable too, because it's going to tell you if and when they had a loan on the property. It's going to tell you when the ownership changed. It's going to tell, you're going to be able to see the parcel map. You're going to be able to see a lot of things. Does it look like,
Utah County maps. Don't go parcel map, just do map. See if it-
And then go through that.
or just go to parcel?
I don't know,
Say
maybe it's different on,
Just pull that back and do Utah County. I honestly,
yeah,
it is a good one too. When if you are out knocking doors and I maybe miss something or do different things, I can tell an address on it. I don't have good systems for knocking doors. I should have that gal come out and teach a class on it because she is intense. Are you a door knocker? Okay, and meeting new people that way. There is, I'll talk to him about getting one on the books because there is some really good systems that you can make that, and she has some good tools as far as like, she makes sure she hitting all of them and what she's doing for her follow-up and then her next time into that same community, but she knocks the same, whatever, 140 doors, I think I said, which is crazy. And in Minnesota, when she had pictures on Facebook and there's like snow up to here, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? She's amazing. I personally like Google Maps, but that's me. I'm a Google Map person. So if you don't already have it, that was one of the things. And then KW Command. Oh, I hate Apple Maps. That's why I tried to do an iPhone and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Everything is connected to Google for me. They're all in my Google contacts before they're in Command. So if I ever go, I can pull up their contact, I can click on their address, I can drive to their house or know how far it is. all of their stuff is inside there for me, and then it goes into command.
How accurate do you think value?
It's your taxable value, so it's usually about 75% of the actual value. So that's what they're getting taxed on.
I just typed my own, but it has a range. It's definitely not accurate.
It's what they taxed you on. Yes, most of the time, that's why people don't want to like upgrade their stuff. Yeah. Ooh, it's 11:11, you guys. It's magical. Make a wish. All right. Yes.
I can't sign the GS yet, right? So-
No, you could do this and create it as a consumer. And it's worth getting comfortable because you'll start, your eyes will get used to it. Your brain will get used to it. Those things will get used to it.
A little more, I feel like I've heard. But I understand what she's saying, because family come out.
All right. I don't want to, I know you guys are at home, so I know, yes, that is Utah County. Matt, yeah, good job. It sounds like Matt got his downloaded.
No, I would just say, like, if you're.
Oh, yeah,
Even if you haven't, say, my team is doing awesome. You know?
Do people, so what's the question? What's the objective?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry, but I got it.
How long have you been an agent? Okay, you're right there. Are you doing anything outside of this?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, how are you paying your bills?
Oh, yeah, so I just work at Walmart, like 5 to 2, just to pay the bills.
5 a.m.
Yeah.
to 2 p.m.
Yes. And then I just do this.
So it is hard to do both. It is a challenge to serve two masters, and I'm not saying you got to leave. We got to be careful, because that is the second thing, is even your SOI trusting you. It is hard for them to trust you when you still have another job, because it's like, well, you don't trust yourself enough to just do this full time.
Yeah.
So my recommendation, and you got to pay the bills, is if there is any way you can get into anything that's real estate related, then you're in real estate during that time, whether it is working on a team, working in the brokerage, working at a title company, and then your brain is also not switched. It is freaking hard to do both.
It's like what I do. Obviously, like, pretty much, to be honest, it's just- and that way I'm like, I have it. just
Mhm. Yeah, and you can even do, this is gonna sound crazy, but you could read your own scripts into your thing and play them. I know that sounds like so dumb, and the script sounds so crazy. You won't sound like you're reading the script anymore, though. It just starts to get the same pieces. So if you read those scripts, and there's just voice recorders, you guys probably have something else, but the voice recorder of you listening to is really valuable. So that's my 2 cents on that. Even if it's scripts you probably will never use in your life, subconsciously, it'll be really valuable for you. You'll be at an open house, you'll say something and be like, I did that. And it'll have just come out and it'll feel really natural. So kind of corny, but we did in Bold, they gave us a CD. This is how old I am. They gave us a CD of scripts, but I would just listen to them in the car. And all of a sudden, then I was like, could say some things that they said. I might not say all of them. They might not all make sense for me. The one thing we didn't talk about that we should, well, there's a few things. We didn't cover reviews at all. Wait,
With the CD scripts, you know, if there's such thing as podcast of real estate, because I've been looking.
podcast, like for scripts?
Yeah, or like anything.
Yeah, a ton here, actually. So there's one called Think Like a CEO that is really good. There is another one, but you might not hear your voice, called Empire Builders. It's ran by 4 of the top women in the country. The Empire Builders is, for me, I found my voice in their podcast 2 years ago. And it may be a little less scripty, but they have some good ones. So Think Like a CEO is a really good one. Also, there's gotta be, there's some Facebook groups. The problem is you might need to be on Wi-Fi for them.
Well,
Trying
yeah.
to think of the name of what it is. Monday mornings, cute gal, what's her name that has great hair? Older lady and a bob. She, every Monday morning, she logs in and they do and it's about that time. The cute gal that stayed, I can't think of her name right this second, that stayed, Renell, there we go. Smith, I think. There we go. She logs in on and they're looking for podcasts or things they could listen to, but she logs in Monday morning to a market. Thank you. Good luck, you guys. A mastermind on the Facebook group. It's probably in the shift group. I feel like I could look it up, but she listens to that one. She's a little go-getter. She's a go-getter.
Question.
Yes.
Is there like a page that has not necessarily resources, but good places, like a list of Facebook groups we should join, a list of apps that we should get, a list of, this app for new agents? Or is it just kind of you add and join them as they're suggested?
Some of those, I like that question. That's a really good question. And some of it is that you're going to find is that we're all agents are a little bit different in what they are. Like I said, like the Think Like a CEO is the podcast, but the Empire Builders is the sister podcast to that. They're both really good, but they might sound, you might not connect as well with maybe moms that are selling real estate. You might, there's some really good stuff in there, but your voice might sound different, right? So are you guys all a part of the KW Facebook page? That one is the KW Westfield Facebook page.
It's getting Westfield agents. Well, there's a solo agent page, but there's also, and I would encourage everybody even on the type of activity team to be involved on the
Solo.
agents.
I agree.
The solo agents use great information.
I wish I could go to the solo agent meeting. Okay, the other one is called Pivot Shift.
Yeah, that's the other one.
That one, if you are looking, you're,
And that one's
So
a
this
the
Pivot Shift. I'll put it in the comments. So they do a ton of live videos. The other one is there is actually, if you go, Hunter is going to probably, you can access all of these training videos. There's a ton. Pivot Shift has, I'm trying to think of where I took some lives from, they were Facebook lives from, I think it was in this group. Pivot Shift, the Shift Ahead with James Shaw. If you guys want to invite yourselves to on here, you're welcome to do that. But that one has a lot of good, if you're looking for videos and stuff like that on that. Do you have access to our YouTube page? That's another good one. If you just listen to the KW Westfield official YouTube page has all of the trainings on there. So if you have even an agent that you really liked one of their classes, you can go back and probably even look at old ones they've taught on different subjects. All of Johnny's market reports are in there too. So I'll listen to those market reports a couple of times.
It's like, I totally understand like how you're saying about like, you start your job, you need step by step by step by step. It's like, that's how I am with that speaking. Like, I understand it, but I don't know how to get it out.
And you know what? It's going to sound so ugly the first time you do it, and you just have to do it. You got to practice it. You're going to feel really dumb to do a script practice, right? You'll be like, knock, knock, knock. What am I going to say at the door? But the script practice, like that door knock script practice is actually one that I just did over and over with agents. And you just get used to it, and you just gotta like do it. It's when, and there's a whole manual or scripts that you guys get from your group coaching and Ignite. I can't think of the little book that they give you, but kind of a starter pack. In the back of that, I think is full of scripts.
The playbook.
Yes, the playbook. That's the one. And the other thing is is it separate? Oh, that's good. Oh, all right, you guys, we are getting, you guys already did you want to add to that one? It's got some good ones. And if you just start to, you'll find some different ones that you hear. I'll see if I can come up with, there's another, I swear there's one more that has just some really good archive trainings in it.
There's some that I've been listening lately. That's like they have some good days.
And
It'd be cool to have that.
yeah,
This is like real talk Atlanta. And real estate training, coaching.
There are a million different coaching.
Yeah, I got a lot of
companies.
those.
There's obviously KW, where we'll push maps coaching because it's culturally effective for KW agents. Again, I'm all about brevity, short, and just if you will powerful scripts.
Yeah.
But some of them will be like, well, this is the problem.
you know, Susie Love is so good with her tie downs. I actually was going to ask her to practice with me.
You ever been tie down doing before?
Uh-uh.
Tie down to tie down. You put that in ring on, don't you?
Yes, I do.
No.
Oh, I have to do it
I
back.
know, you have to do
I don't
it
know
back.
how.
So, you like plaid, is that right?
Oh, see, I need to, we should play that game. We should get her to do a thing and I'll come.
Whole thing is, the tie downs is super easy. These windows are darkened with the shade, aren't they?
Dean, you told me you love riding your bike, right?
Exercise is something we should all do, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, we have to go back and forth and all it is, they have.
It's
you're-
just
they're
practicing
knowing
getting
what
people to agree with whatever it is. So she is such a light person that it kills me that she'll just be like, I'm just doing a little work. I'm just putting some people under contract. I'm like, oh my gosh, but she is so good at not making people do stuff they don't want to do, but helping them do stuff they do want to do. That's the tie down of like, yeah, you told me that it was so important that we got you into a house by spring, right? Like,
Let's see, all a tie down is, here's in a nutshell, a tie down is a brief statement and turned into a question. You like baseball, don't you? Because you have baseball jersey on, right? All I'm saying is you go down that path.
it's to help them come to conclusion and move them forward. It just helps them move them through their own muck of like, yeah, but I really wanted to get more for our house. But now that we've had 8 showings and 2 offers, that the market really is telling us what your house is worth, right? So wouldn't it make sense
I know
for
you
us
wanna do
to,
your own spirit house. Your neighbors won't let you, will they? Does that make sense? I say, you understand what I say, your neighbors won't let you, because that means what people paid for houses right next door
Mhm.
are gonna be, it's gonna be close to what you're going to get.
And it's about just like, even though it's not what I want, like, yeah, you're right, I didn't want that. You really did want to get out of this house. You want to be able to close the chapter on this part of your life, right? And Right's probably the one I do. That's why I want
Wouldn't
her
you agree?
help with it. She is really, you won't even know it's happening. And I'd be like, you're freaking tying me down right now. Like, she's really good at it. I'd love to play that game with her and have her. There was 2 things that I heard I was supposed to talk about for the training. What was the other one? So the tie downs is one I want to do.
I thought it was, we want you to teach command.
Oh, I'm probably not the one, but Susie uses command a lot. I tease her because I was like, I did just send out my Twilio text message, reignited several relationships that I hadn't been engaged with. That was really good. I'm cleaning command out right now. Same thing. If I can't call you, I don't know who you are, you gotta go. If you don't respond to me, you gotta go. I want you to opt out. I want you guys out of there if you're not supposed to be. There was one more as I come across it. I know that there was something, but I do think some active, I know the conversation practicing, some script role play would be really valuable for all of us right now. I wouldn't it? You're so good. I love it. Well, I think we covered a little bit of stuff that isn't necessarily like it's in there, but I just wanted you guys to really work with market data today. That was important to me that we kind of moved that forward. And I did not give you guys my contact information. So this one is,
UtahRealestate.com app on your phone. So do this, go into, open the app, search for a realtor, and then type Fisher, F-I-S-C-H-E-R, Angie's spelling. And then find her and tap on her.
It's Angela though.
Yeah, it is. I just type Fisher. That's why I said search for Fisher. F-I-S-C-H. There's a C in it. And the reason why I'm saying that is I want to show you the secret. So when you work with another agent and you want to add them to your phone, this is how you do it.
oh, I like
So once
that.
you find her name, so you need to log in, that's your credentials. So you found her. So tap on her image. You have your picture on Utah Real Estate. Good. So
Everybody should. That's one of the first things you guys should do.
just update your profiles on all of your platforms.
What's one of the first things we should do?
What's the point of the what?
No, once you find Angie on
Oh.
Utah Real Estate, you tap on her, you
There-
open her, scroll to the very bottom and add to your contacts. And then
Oh.
you don't have to type a thing. It has
That's
everything that
awesome.
she's put
I've
in.
never done that before. Dean,
Well,
you
you
just
were-
added, I
well, you were-
screenshot it and send it to Darlene and tell her to add it to my contact. This is so much better. This is so much
Well,
better.
Way easier.
It
I'm all about
is.
easy. There's an easy button I want.
Yeah,
Now,
it's so
I
good.
don't know how different it is for iPhones. It shouldn't be dramatically different. And there's
Gives you an
like
add
add
contact.
contact.
So
Upload
when
it right
you're,
to your mobile, right in your iCloud or in your Google for me. Don't have my
Yeah.
Google contacts.
so
It's a
when,
beautiful thing.
easy, I like it. You know, that's why I was actually, there's in the KW command, you can do the same thing and open your KW mobile app. And
You
literally
can
just
update
add
the
people.
CRM.
Yeah, you can add them from your contacts. You can add them from like, and just hit add and it'll put them in automatically from your contacts from your phone, from other places. Like it's actually really pretty cool. So I have one YouTube that I follow and she just puts out a 60-minute video or 60-second video every day on KW Command Mobile. And she's just one of the tech trainers and I started following her. So I just get these like little, here's your, that was a great question. I don't follow too many, but she is one I do. You guys would think I know how to use this. Let's try it with library. That's not going to be it. You all? Nope. Recently viewed? I don't know. Subscriptions? Is that where it would be?
That's really funny.
Oh, good. I'm like, I don't know. Hey, Keller Williams Command Mobile Start. Oh, Bren, B-R-E-N Brewer, B-R-E-W-E-R. Bren Brewer. And they're just super fast, short little videos that she sends out. And so it'll just pop up. Oh,
I've added contacts. I've added my contacts to my smart plans. Now I have to add an opportunity because I have a transaction going on with this client. So let me show you how to do that. Let's go.
so in 1 minute, she'll show you how to add a transaction from your mobile site. I'm like, I'm not very good at technology, so I have been following her along with stuff that she's doing. And it just is like, oh, that's cool. Like in the mobile app too, it's super easy for you to share your contact with other people. There's QR code in there that as you bring up your KW command. I guess I could have done that. See?
Some of these QR code it.
It's a QR code that's on it and they scan it and it goes into
And
their
then
phone
they
and
use
save.
their apps.
Yeah. All right. We are closing it on up. I think we got through a lot of good data today. If you guys need something, let me know. Did I give you guys my phone number? No. Oh, I did. You guys found it. We're good. And we already did ahas. Hopefully it was value to come today. You are welcome. I am gonna go catch up, and then I was just teasing these guys. I'm gonna go show a trailer. So.
That's right, we sell personal property now and then. You know?
Thank you, you guys.
This one's.
Bye-bye.
You have to add